I am happy to be the last speaking. And I hope that you will treat me as baby last. I want to precede my comment with a few observations. Number one, our disrespect for time in this country is what has been the bane of our progress. Indiscipline starts with disrespect for time. And I must say that this program did not start on time. I'm sure next time we will all do better. Two, we seem to be a little bit, or let me be blunt, we seem to be insincere about our discussions when it comes to the problems of this country. And that is part of the reason why we never get solutions. Or even when we have found solutions, the problems keep coming back. It is true that the 1992 Constitution is the longest fast-served constitution of this republic. But that does not lie with the righteousness or appropriateness of this constitution. The reason why this constitution has lasted thus far is that at some point in the history of this country, the citizens of this country said that enough of the constitutional overthrows. That even the worst form of a democratic government was best than the best dictatorship. And that's when we said, enough of coup d'etats. That for the years that the NDC won under Mr. Jerry John Rawlings visited, hard iron hands on Ghanaians, disregarding our own laws, nobody allowed that to be used as a basis to overthrow the constitution. And I want to register this point here. Perhaps the constitutional lawyers can better argue that the various constitutions that we have had in this country, the 1960 Constitution, in fact, the 1957 Independence Constitution inclusive, the 1969, the 1979, and the 1992 Constitution, to tell us, point by point, merit by merit, and the respect for proper, good governance practice, which of these constitutions will stand out? I doubt if the 1992 Constitution will count anywhere near. We have been operating a deceptive document. And that is at the heart of this matter. And I want to refer you all that this matter we are discussing was exhaustively dealt with by the Constitutional Review Commission in their report on pages 457 to 507. They dealt with the whole chapter of local governance. That even decentralization ought to be properly contextualized and defined. Friends, I will speak as a person and speak also the position of my party. Because in 2016, my party was the only political party whose research had envisaged that if we wanted to allow proper popular participation in local governance, we needed to go for referenda. Not just Article 55(3). It is on the page 28. Thank you, Madam Chair. And it is point number 3.6 of our party manifesto 2016. We anticipated that we would need a referendum to allow for popular participation in local governance. Friends, the longest served senator of Oregon in the United States of America, Mark Hatfield, said something which touches my heart so well. He said that in knowledge and history lay our greatest weapons, our greatest true power. Local governance in this country's history, at least by the record that is available, started in 1878, when the British, through pressure from their own home country, wanted to introduce our people into our governance system, albeit colonial dictatorship. From that period to 1951, when we had the first major popular elections in this country, and from 1951 to 1960, when Ghana became a republic, and from 1961 through to date, we have had local governance with some semblance of elections. So what we are practicing today, under the local government law, which preceded the 1992 constitution by coming into being in 1988, really was not a novelty. However, what is novel about it is that for the first time, it was a local government law of 1988 that said that political parties should not be part of local governance. The record available shows that even though the periods that I've mentioned did not bar political parties from participating, there's no record showing political party participation.
There were no political parties.
I'm coming to that. That political parties should not involve in that, or that there were political parties that were involved. The point I'm making is that no law barred political parties from participating in local governance pre-1988. 1988 must be put in context. It was at a time that the PNDC had come under enormous pressure from within and without to return this country to multi-party democracy. So to please the pressure that, or if you like, lessen the pressure that they were coming under, they decided to organize some semblance of elections. But of course, as you saw in the video Paul referred to us, they smartly sought to withhold power. And I want to make it clear here. Article 55(3) was preceded by Article 248. And if you read Article 248 and you read Article 55(3), you see how they link. So the non-entrenched Article 248 is not different from the entrenched Article 55(3). The PNDC sought to control and manipulate the local level, even if they were returning this country to multi-party democracy. So when they talk about their NDC strength in the local levels, this is the reason. They have used state power, state machinery, state resources to dominate our politics. And yet, we allow the insertion of a clause in the 1992 Constitution that says that there should not be one-party state entertained by even parliament. Agreed. But behind the scenes, you were perpetuating one-party system. And of course, the MPP came into power in 2001, and they perpetuated that one-party system, at least at the local level. So let's stop this pretense that there is no political party involvement at the local level elections. In fact, the Constitutional Review Commission makes this point clear, that it is pretense and a facade. And I want to quote from the Constitutional Review Commission, that it is clear, quoting, that only a brave and definitive reform of decentralization in Ghana can free Ghana from the current political opportunism and inertia associated with the practice of decentralization and local governance in Ghana. When the president appoints the MMDC, he does not appoint the MMDC who is coming from, if you like, a rival system. And perhaps I can speak from personal knowledge that when my father, J.K. Bonfe, was appointed DCE first and then later MCE, the last DCE for Kintampo before it was split into Kintampo North and South, and the first MCE for Kintampo North. He was coming from the PNC stock, in fact the CPP stock. But my father was appointed because in the 2000 elections runoff, he was at the forefront of the campaign for J. Kufuor to become president. It was a justification, a reason for which he was appointed DCE. So the point I'm making is that no president appoints a non-party person into office. And to add to this, for you to appreciate the point I'm making, today, my father has abandoned our tradition and he's a Council of Elders chairman of the NPP in Kintampo. So, who are you to tell me that there is no partisanship in at this level, at the MMDC level? Friends, I want to make these points. I think this discussion has often not also been properly contextualized. If you read the reform, the Constitutional Review Commission's work, and the fora that we have had as political parties under the auspices of IDEC, and I'm sorry, I think that my good friend Dr. Akwete from IDEC didn't make these points forcefully as I wanted him to. We want popular participation at the local level because today, the current state is that there is no popular participation. Make no mistake about it. There is some form of election at the local level. The assemblymen, they are elected, but not on partisan lines, as independent candidates. The MMDCs, when they have been nominated under Article 2431, Article 2432 requires that assembly members will vote on that nominee. And there are cases where nominees from the presidency have been rejected by the assemblymen. In fact, some have been returned a number of times. When it fails, then they say that, okay, they should act. There are examples under... Or change the government appointees to allow the process to go through. There's some form of elections anyways. But what we are saying is that all this... Thank you for providing me the Apo. Yes. For information, yes. No, he's my master. He teaches me law. No problem at all. And thank you very much, Senior, for providing me the information. But the point must be made that there is some form of elections that takes place anyways. Why are we limiting it? So to allow for popular participation, there are 4 laws that ought to be changed. And these 4 laws are Article 248,